A tiny ginger kitten, no bigger than a teacup, tumbled down a storm drain. One minute he was batting at a fallen leaf, the next the ground vanished beneath his paws. Now, wet and shivering, he huddled on a grimy ledge in the echoing darkness of the sewer. Above, a faint circle of light was his only reminder of the sunny world he'd lost. The air hung thick with the smell of damp earth and something vaguely unpleasant. Days blurred into a damp, echoing symphony of drips and distant rumbles. The kitten, whom he now thought of as Pip, scavenged for stray crumbs of forgotten food that had washed into the sewer. He navigated treacherous puddles reflecting the low concrete ceiling, his tiny paws slipping on the slimy surfaces. Strange, shadowy shapes scurried in the periphery, their rustling sounds sending shivers down his spine. One day, a torrent of water rushed through the tunnel, carrying with it a bizarre assortment of discarded items. A crumpled plastic bottle bumped against Pip's legs, followed by a soggy newspaper and a lone, mud-caked boot. The force of the water threatened to sweep him away, and he clung desperately to a rusty pipe, his small claws scrabbling for purchase. Further down the tunnel, Pip discovered a strange gathering. A family of plump rats scurried around a discarded half-eaten apple. One particularly bold rat, with whiskers twitching inquisitively, approached Pip. Instead of aggression, Pip felt only a pang of loneliness. He meowed softly, a plea more than a threat. The rat tilted its head, its tiny eyes blinking. Days turned into weeks. Pip learned the rhythms of the sewer, the rush of water after a rainstorm, the scuttling sounds at dusk. He discovered a small, relatively dry alcove behind a crumbling brick wall, filled with soft scraps of cloth and forgotten treasures like a tarnished button and a smooth gray stone. This became his sanctuary. One afternoon, a different sound echoed through the tunnels, a rhythmic clanking and the muffled sound of human voices. Pip cautiously peeked around a corner and saw two figures in bright orange vests lifting a heavy metal grate. Sunlight, brighter than he remembered, flooded the dark space. Drawn by an instinct he couldn't explain, Pip crept closer to the opening. One of the workers spotted a flash of ginger fur. "Hey, what's that?" he exclaimed, pointing. The other worker knelt down, peering into the gloom. Pip, scared but hopeful, let out a weak, trembling meow. Gently, the worker reached down and scooped up the small, trembling kitten. Pip, overwhelmed by the warmth of human hands, burrowed into the man's glove. The world outside was a dazzling assault on his senses. The bright blue sky, the green grass, the sounds of traffic. He was safe.